If you've not watched the part 1 and the part 2 of this series, which is The Richest Man in Babylon, I advise you to go back and listen to the part 1 and the part 2 and the summary. Then you can now come back to this one, because this part, which is the part 3, is like a follow-up to the part 1, part 2, and now we are in part 3. So we are talking about The Richest Man in Babylon, some of the financial principles that are embedded on that book. So we've discussed about 7 so far. So let me start the story. Now, Algemish, the money lender, has finished teaching the richest man in Babylon, Akkad, all the principles for wealth creation. If you refer back to our previous video, I was illustrating how Akkad, the richest man in Babylon, when he was young, came over to the inscribing shop for him to learn how to become rich, because he was very obsessed. He wanted to be rich. So what did he do then? After Algemish finished teaching him the principle, Algemish was old then. So the next year, Algemish came to Akkad. By then, Akkad has started making money. He has started building his own business to a level of extent his purse is now filled up. So Algemish, the money lender, told Akkad that, see, his son is very promiscuous and his son is a spender, that he cannot hand over his wealth to his son. But now that he has learned the principles of financial freedom in life, that he's going to send him to a far country where he has lands, where he has real estate, where he has businesses, for him, Akkad, to go and manage it. So Akkad saw that as an opportunity and now went to those places that Algemish, the money lender, has property. So Algemish, the money lender, was very old then. So he told Akkad, see, I'm going to make you a partner. You're going to be my partner. So Akkad agreed and went. So in few years' time, Akkad grew that man's business, Algemish business, into a multi-billion-dollar business. Everything Algemish, the money lender, has outside overseas was just expanding. The book said that because of he learns the basic principles of finance, that was what helped him to enlarge that man's estate. And few years down the line, Algemish died. When Algemish died, 50% of all the properties of Algemish was now given to Akkad. So that was how he now came out on his own and started growing his wealth. You know, Akkad was actually telling his story to Bansel, his friend Kobe, and few of his friends that came around to see him, to ask him, Akkad, how did you make your money? So it was in that process, after he has finished telling them the story, one of them raised his hands and said, Akkad, see, you are so fortunate that Algemish found you and shared his property with you. Akkad said, no, that I was ready for the opportunity. I was studying, I was doing my own research, I was doing all the work that was necessary for me to grow in life. So when the opportunity presented itself, I was ready for it. I was ready for the opportunity. So you can't tell me that because of, so Algemish visits everybody every day, but it depends on your ability to be sensitive to the opportunities around you. That was what Akkad was telling them. He said, no, it is not about that I met Algemish. I was prepared. Despite all the things I went through, I was prepared for this situation. So I didn't get rich because of Algemish visited me. It can be anybody, but I was ready for that kind of information. I was ready to put all the work it takes for me to be successful. Another person now raised his hands and said, see, Algemish, I understand the fact that you lost your money that you saved for over 1 year. That should be willpower. Algemish said, no, it is not willpower. It is pure consistency and desire. that I knew what I wanted in life. And despite the fact that I lost my 1 year to 2 years savings, I had to go back because I had this consistency and desire in me to be wealthy. I have this consistency and desire in me to be very rich in life. So despite the setback I had, I won't give up. Despite the setback I had, I won't give up. Most of us will be in that place, and you must have lost a lot of things. So I just want to encourage you that don't give up. It is not over yet for you. It is never over. Just as Akkad lost 2 years of his savings, he lost it. He gave it out away to the wrong person, and the wrong person bought the wrong thing, and that money just left. So the third person in that crowd now raised his hand and said, see, Akkad, you see, it is my desire to be rich, but we are getting old. How do you think that you can be able to become rich? I can look at them and say, see, it is not late for anybody. Anyone can start now on the journey for wealth creation. It is not a matter of age. It is not a matter of time. See, start today to apply the first principle that Agemish, the money lender, taught me, which is a part of all you earn is yours to keep. That should be the principle that is guiding you. If you wake up every morning and a part of all you earn every day, you keep it aside, within a number of years you will grow rich. Just apply these principles, and all these principles, I've discussed them in part 1 and I've discussed them in part 2. So do well and go to part 1 and part 2 to listen to it, because it will guide you. So in summary, what's this story is telling us that a lot of persons have excuses for not getting rich in life. A lot of persons has excuses for not putting in the work that it takes to become wealthy. A lot of persons have excuses. Now, looking at the people that were asking those questions, one said, Akkad, you're a lucky man. Akkad said, it is not a matter of luck. For most of you that thinks that it's a matter of luck when you see rich people, when you see wealthy people, it's not a matter of work. Those people spent nights grinding. Those people spent days, sometimes years, putting in the work, putting in the energy. They sacrificed a lot of things to be where they are. So you can't just come and say it is luck. It is not luck. They worked hard, they worked smart, they put in all the necessary things. So any man or woman you're seeing that is operating on a higher level, that's a multi-millionaire, that's a billionaire, did not just start that day you started hearing about that person. That person has been doing the work. So enough of this mentality where you say this rich man is lucky, that he is just like that. No, it does not happen like that. Go and check their history. That's what I do sometimes when I meet multi-billionaires and millionaires. I go back to what they've been saying previously. If you go back to any of my videos and see what I've been saying previously when there was nothing, you will see it's still that same consistency. In the next 2-3 years I will still be saying the same thing, but I will not be in where I am. I must have increased. That's how life is. We are putting in the work, so we will get the results that we want because we'll see far. So it is not a matter of luck. Then secondly, willpower. People think it's just by strength. No, it is not just by strength or energy. It is that burning desire in you and say enough is enough. I want my life to be different. So when you come to that point in your life and say, see, because Akkad said something, say, in a day, if I tell myself that in 20 days I'm going to be throwing a stone into a river when I'm going home, and like on the 10th day, I get to my house and I remember that I have not threw that stone inside the water, I will come back again and throw that stone. I will not tell myself that the next day that I'm going to throw the stone. No, I'm going to come back. He now said, I cannot come on the 15th day and say I want to throw 20, so I will not do it. So it's a day. Every day is a consistent action. Do you understand? So that's the second excuse people give. And the third excuse, people will say, I'm too old, I don't have the opportunity, I'm too old, now I'm 30, now I'm 40, now I'm 50. No, there are a lot of examples in the world of men and women that has broken the ceiling, men and women that has broken record even at their older age. They acquired a lot of wealth. So any barrier in your head that is making you feel that it is not time for you, or it is not possible. Let me tell you, it is possible for you to create wealth. Don't be a mediocre. This is your life. You can actually create the kind of life you want. So I've come to the end of this series, which is The Richest Man in Babylon, was introducing how the richest man in Babylon as of then accumulated his wealth. And it has, for me personally, that is sharing it with you, it has transformed my life. And I believe if you listen to this series, part 1, part 2, part 3, again and again, you will see the truths, the basic truths, the basic laws, the basic principles scattered around all I've been saying, to make you free from poverty in life. That's my aim. Young people, listen to me. You can actually redesign your life and create a template financially that can save you forever. So thank you. Feel free to like, follow, and subscribe on my channels, and I'll see you in the next part of The Richest Man in Babylon. Thank you. I love you sincerely.